Hey everyone, it's your girl, Maddie here, aka Beaver Mush. And today I'm here to talk to you about a new split between Bury Them and Keep Quiet out of New York and Feminizer out of Seattle. And this is coming to you off of Fiat Productions and Vida Detestables Records. And here, this is a split between two solo US black metal projects. On one side of this, Bury Them and Keep Quiet brings forth a more melodic black metal with some traditionally frosty guitars and a lot of sprawling atmosphere. And on the other hand, Feminizer conjures up a more noisy and depressive black metal. And while these are two quite different approaches to making black metal, it does seem like both halves complement each other well. It sounds like there is a shared creative goal. And both artists bring a lot of surprises here. There's a lot of nuance to be found throughout the record's runtime. And both artists, you can tell, are anchored within black metal's traditional roots, but neither sounds like a carbon copy of other artists within the genre as well. They both have a very unique take. Bury Them and Keep Quiet side begins with Food for Worms, which begins with this bleak, thin, melodic guitar line that kind of serves as the center point of this track, where the galloping drums and the sharp screech vocals kind of build off of. It does a really good job of developing this lonesome mood, especially with the subtle synth and cutting rhythm guitar. Everything here has this sort of buzzing drone to it. This track feels open, yet has this incessant sense of movement to it. There's this real paranoia that Bury Them and Keep Quiet is able to inject into the track here. And also there's this very theatrical build-up, a lot of speed and layers continuously gets added on, while the vocals in staggered steps gets progressively more jagged and intense. It's No Good carries this icy, mechanical synth line that interplays with the fantastically composed and performed melodic riff. And then the vocals play with that in perfect attunement in a way that creates these emotive and convincing moments that exist in between anguish and euphoria. The drumming isn't playing around either. The double bass work is very steady and adds a lot of aggression underneath the more upward looking and meditative guitar work. And I love when bands are able to nail subtle juxtapositions like that. Overall, there's just this bewitching haze looming over the track. A lot of that due to the really bright yet slicing guitar tone. Cast from Darkness ends this half with something far more chaotic and possessed. It incorporates a lot of noise while allowing those weeping tremolos to peek through from time to time. And I love the thrill of those opposing tonalities kind of fighting with one another. There are times when the vocals seem to crack and kind of tear here, and it's elected to stay that way on the recording very intentionally, and it feels genuine and works with some of the emotive peaks that this track reaches. And the ending, it sticks the landing for this half of the split. There's just this pulsating, growing and growing onslaught of sonic fury. The Feminizer side now begins with Angry Kanu, which is a patiently developing track, one to sit there and ponder and let the nuances come through to you. There's just so many little hidden details, from drum fills to guitar riffs to little synth passages, that really fill all of the crevices here. The short intro, however, is very spacious and ghostly, but that's before you're jolted into this depraved, tortured storm of madness. The screams you are hearing in the background are so dark and pained and harsh. And then the bass adds this distorted, muddy skeleton to the hostile cacophony of sounds you are already experiencing. But with all the chaos and intensity, there's a lot of feeling. It's a display of anger and unease with a clear solemnness. And you can experience that through the details shining through the walls of disarray. I love the slower, doomier section as well, with these bleak, hammering riffs. It's just so epically melancholic and beautiful, even with how nasty the surrounding soundscapes are. Hungry Like the Wolf features these stalking, ornate synth and this dark, creeping and moody bass line that results in a very unique atmosphere, especially with how the vocals are kind of hushed in the mix in a very interesting way. And also there's these arpeggios, these very bleak pick throughs add so much ghostliness to the track. While very scathing and abrasive, there are also these reflective and even melodic moments in the details as well. And interesting enough, there are also these kind of humming and droning horns and woodwinds to be found that adds a very unique texture and orchestration that you would not expect in a black metal tune like this. There's a lot to appreciate on this split. Both halves, both artists come through with something that feels very deeply realized. And there's a lot of nuances to discover. It's a record to play multiple times, as these little melodies and instrumental passages are there to mine and discover, and it's exciting to do so. And like a good split, in my opinion, you have two artists showing their unique musical ideas, while also, by being side by side, showcasing the commonalities that hold them together within a scene. And that's always fun for me to experience. This is for fans of lo-fi, underground, harsh black metal. And if you're one of those, like me, I don't see why this wouldn't do it for you. And so listen to it. Go get it. And those are my thoughts. If you like this video, hit the like button. It'd mean the world to me if you'd consider subscribing. Leave a comment. I love engaging with those. I have a Twitter you can follow. Link to that bio of this YouTube channel. And hey, keep it metal. My name is Maddie, aka Beaver Mosh, and I'm signing off.